Hello, the internet. Dragon Quest VIII is coming to the 3D or the new 3DS in Japan August 27th. And to be perfectly fair, how I really feel about this game though is actually one of my more favorite, it's like in my top 3. To be perfectly fair, because it's one of those games in which that I can just play over and over and over again. And they have been talking about, or at least like with everything that has been going on so far, there has been some talks about them more promotional art and then bringing in way more characters, because if you check the promotional art you also see Mori and you see Red on there. So really, when some people, when they do see it, they do look at that and they're like, well, now this game, it has brand new characters, but I don't think that they've dropped any necessarily gameplay features to actually show off any brand new characters. However, I would like to see this game come over here, because to be perfectly fair, I'm not getting a goddamn 3DS, a new 3DS, but if that game came out, I don't care. I'm doing everything, man, for that shit, because I really love Dragon Quest. I mean, like me buying a Vita for fucking Persona 4 Golden, I know it's shallow, but that was a major reason why I bought a Vita. Well, it was one of the major reasons, but either way, though, that is something about this story, though. Hey, internet. Apparently, some people feel as though that Resident Evil HD Remaster was actually a good thing, and honestly, going from those original sales, that was actually a really good idea for them to do, pretty much no matter how anyone felt about it. Because again, in my last Resident Evil news coverage, they said that was like the highest sales in which that they had, just by cutting out the middleman and just making it digital. However, I'm a bit cross with this one, Resident Evil HD, Resident Evil 0 HD Remaster, because the game has been announced to come out in early 2006, and to be perfectly fair, it's not really a game in which that I feel is sort of like the best way to openly come out and say like, well, now this is a good Resident Evil game, we want people to go out and mess with it. I mean, the first Resident Evil I can understand, because when they remade it on GameCube, good or bad, it was still very, very impressive. In terms of what this game is, from it to being the port of a game, which from it being an update from like its original N64 roots to it being on GameCube and then being released again back in 2008 and 2009. It's a bit strange to sort of see people jumping at this game, especially since it's been about like six years now since they could go and download the game, which was called Resident Evil Archives, unless they pulled that shit. But either way, is that like, I don't really see this being a very strong enough platform for them to want to say, okay, we want to go back and we want to HD remix size like the original Resident Evil 2, 3, and Code Veronica, which they might not even do Code Veronica anyway, because there's already a version of that out on the PlayStation stores. But either way, is that like if this game, if it does well, it may be a good incentive for them to actually go ahead and actually HD remaster Resident Evil 2 and 3, maybe Code Veronica. But either way, I don't think that this one is strong enough to really like match what they're necessarily expecting. And to be perfectly fair, I don't know what they're like expecting, because they're not really dropping any information upon the details of pricing, upon the additions or its launch. So to be perfectly fair, it's like the only thing that we know is that sometime in 2016, hopefully they do add on some more stuff for this game. Hopefully they do give us like a little bit more. But either way, that is just how this game comes off to me. It's okay. It's not bad, but it's definitely okay.